All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating blueprint for creating content. And look, this isn't about chasing that one viral hit. Nope. This is about building a system, a sustainable machine for your channel that just works.
But first, I have a question for you. If you're a creator, you know this feeling, right? You're just staring at a blank page, waiting, hoping for that bolt of lightning, that brilliant idea to strike. But what happens when it doesn't? Well, that constant hunt for inspiration, it almost always leads to inconsistency, a ton of stress, and yeah, eventually total burnout.
So, what's the alternative? Well, the whole idea we're digging into today is a pretty radical shift in how you think about all this. It's summed up perfectly by this quote from the source material. Treat it like infrastructure, not inspiration. Honestly, this is the key to building something that can actually last.
To really get why this is so powerful, we first have to talk about what we're going to call the creator's trap. We need to unpack exactly why banking on inspiration is just, well, it's so unreliable.
And this, right here, lays out the two paths so clearly. On one side, you've got inspiration. It's totally unpredictable, it's super stressful, and you know what? It's a direct highway to burning out. But then you look at the other side, infrastructure. Now this approach, it's repeatable, it's systematic, and most importantly, it's consistent. It literally turns your creative work from a lottery ticket into a reliable process.
Okay, so how do we actually build this infrastructure? It all starts by laying the foundation. So let's look at the first two absolutely crucial steps that set the entire stage for your system. Here it is, your starting point. Nice and simple. Step one, you've got to pick a niche that has a real monetization potential. Don't worry, we'll talk about what that really means in a sec. And then step two, create an initial batch of 10 videos. And these videos have to be laser focused on solving very specific problems. And this explains the how for that first step beautifully. The blueprint is super clear here. Do not chase trends. Why? Because they're temporary, they're insanely competitive, and the content you make has a really short shelf life. Instead, you want to pour your energy into solving real problems. This is how you create content that's evergreen, that's targeted to a specific audience, and that inherently has way, way higher value. So here's the most important thing to remember about those first 10 videos. Your goal is not to go viral. Just forget about the view counts and all the metrics for a minute. The whole point here is to build a foundational library of solutions. You're creating this amazing, valuable resource that instantly shows any new viewer what you're all about. All right, once that foundation is in place, it is time to start building the engine. This is the part where we shift from just being a content creator to actually turning that content into a real, sustainable business. And this is what that monetization loop looks like. Step 3 is to build a single, focused, low-ticket product. Then, step 4 is to attach a call to action for that product naturally right inside your content. It's a really simple system, but it's incredibly powerful. But why a low-ticket product specifically? Well, it's all about providing immediate, tangible value. It acts as a super clear and easy next step for the people who are really engaged with your free stuff and want to go just a little bit deeper to solve their problem. Now, the absolute key to making this work is that your call to action can't feel forced. It can't feel like a sales pitch at all. No. Instead, it should feel like the most natural, logical next step for somebody who just got a ton of value from your video and is now looking for more help. Okay. We've got our foundation, and we've got our engine. So now it's time for the secret sauce, the repeatability system. This is the thing that guarantees you'll be consistent week after week for the long haul. You know, the final tactical step in this blueprint is something called relentless hook improvement. And this isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a process that never stops. You are constantly, and I mean constantly testing and tweaking the first few seconds of your videos. Because let's be honest, that's where you either win or lose your audience. And this brings us back to one of the most powerful mindset shifts in this whole system. Your goal is not perfection. Come on, chasing perfection, it just leads to procrastination and burnout, right? The real achievable goal is repeatability. That's the question. Can you execute this process over and over again? So how on earth do you achieve that repeatability? Well, this slide shows you the practical workflow. You batch your tasks. So instead of trying to make one video from start to finish, you write all of your scripts at once, then you do all of your recording sessions at once, and finally, you batch all of your editing. This streamlines everything, and it just absolutely crushes that decision fatigue. And why does all of this matter so much?
Because of this simple truth: consistency compounds. Every single video you make, every problem you solve, it builds on the last one. It's kind of like investing. The really big gains don't come overnight. They come over time through steady, consistent action.
So let's bring all this together into your infrastructure blueprint. It's time for the final, and maybe the most important takeaway from this entire framework.
If you only remember one single thing from our whole chat today, please make it this: systems beat motivation. Every single time. See, motivation is a feeling. It's fickle. It comes, it goes. But a good system shows up and does the work every day, whether you feel like it or not.
And that leads us to the final question I want to leave you with. Looking at this whole blueprint, thinking about your own channel, what is the very first repeatable system that you are going to build? Because the power isn't just in knowing this stuff, it's in taking that first small systematic step.